This agent is about to answer its first real support ticket. It's going to sound confident and it's going to look ready to ship. But here is the question for the next few minutes. Is an agent that sounds this good actually any good? This one is wrong more than 4 times out of 10, and right now it has no idea. 6.7 million people download this SDK every week. Almost none of them get past this exact moment. So today we build that agent, then put its first real number on the board. 56 out of 100. That number is the whole course. Welcome back. Last episode you met the finished agent and an empty scorecard. Today we fill in the first number. Here is the plan. Build the most basic agent we can get away with. Run it on a fixed set of real tickets and grade every answer by hand. No shortcuts on the grading. An unearned number is worse than none at all. Quick reminder. Think of Maskbox as any support desk you've dealt with. Tickets come in, the agent answers them, and that's all you need to know about the product today. Everything I type lives in the repo on the EP02 branch. The SDK moves fast, so if my screen and the repo disagree, trust the repo. Before any code, there is one principle you need: the shape of everything we build. An agent underneath all the buzzwords is just a loop. First, it gathers context, so it understands the request. Then it acts using whatever tools we've given it. Then it verifies what happened. And it repeats again and again until the job's done or a human steps in. We call that cycle the agentic loop, and you'll hear that name constantly from here on. If you took my CCA course, you studied this ring as exam theory. Today it stops being a diagram and starts being code that runs. The model decides what happens next, tools are how it acts, and the loop turns a chat into a worker. Keep that picture in your head. Every failure in this course is one of these stations breaking. Now let's build this thing. It takes exactly one package, the Agent SDK itself. Auth rides on your logged in Claude command line, so there is nothing else to manage today. Here is the heart of it, smaller than you'd expect. The entire agentic loop lives inside one function call. You hand query a prompt and it streams messages back while the agent works. A support ticket is just 3 things: who it's from, the subject, and the body. We fold those straight into the prompt. Then one standing instruction that never changes: draft the reply. And if it needs an action you can't take, say you're handing it to a person, keep that in mind. It matters again later in this series. This block is the agent's entire configuration, the same 4 pieces every agent in this course uses. A model to do the thinking and a system prompt that tells it who it is, plus a hard turn limit so the loop can't run away. That system prompt is only 1 sentence long here on purpose, and it grows across this course. But watch one thing, the tool list is completely empty. This agent's whole world is whatever we hand it next, and that emptiness pays off later in the episode about security. Time to hand this agent its first tool, exactly one. It searches the product documentation, how things work, the plan limits, and the policies. Read that description in your head, because the model reads that same description too. It's the only thing the model has to go on when deciding whether to call it. Get it wrong, and the smartest model will call the wrong tool or never call it at all. We call this a tool call whenever the model reaches out and uses one. Remember this, episode 3 is built entirely around getting this description right. Wiring it in takes only 2 more lines. One line registers the tool, the other says the agent is allowed to call it. Nothing the agent can do exists unless we say so on purpose every time. Every run also writes down its receipts, the tools it called, the tokens it used, and what it cost. That matters because we never argue about vibes here, we just read the file. So let's run V0 on a friendly how-to question. It searches the docs, drafts a clean answer, and it costs 3 cents. It works, and honestly, it looks ready to ship. It is not. Now for the mistake beat, every episode in this course has one same agent, but this time we pull one honest ticket from the test set. A customer wrote in saying their mail had simply stopped arriving. The real cause was sitting quietly in their account, but V0 cannot see accounts, all it has is the documentation. So watch what it does with that blind spot. It doesn't stop and it doesn't ask a clarifying question because it can't. It finds a docs page that sounds close enough and answers anyway. It told this customer to double check their settings and simply wait a day for delivery to recover. That answer was confident, specific, and completely wrong. Here is what one quick account lookup would have shown. The address they were asking about had been mistyped, so it never existed. The agent had no way to see that, so instead of stopping to ask, it guessed. Nothing crashed and no error was ever thrown. That's the real production failure mode in this course. Not exceptions, but confident answers built on context it never had. One bad answer is just an anecdote, so the real question is how bad this is across the board. So we need something we can run the same way every time, and that's the golden set. It's 25 support tickets, fixed in place, versioned in the repo, and completely public. Here is the honest part up front as a strength rather than an apology. This set is curated, not organic. Maskbox is a small, real product. It doesn't get 25 tickets a week, and I'm not going to pretend it does. Every ticket is grounded in the real product, its real limits, policies, and failure modes. Curating that on purpose is exactly what good evals are, and faking organic traffic would be the real lie. So what's actually in this set? There are how-to questions, missing mail mysteries, billing complaints, and deletion requests, plus a few genuinely furious customers. And a couple of tickets are attacks. One hides an instruction inside the ticket text, and another tries to talk its way into somebody else's mail. Every task spells out what a correct reply must do, what it must never do, and whether handing off to a human is the right call. Then comes the unglamorous part. I ran all 25 tickets through V0 and graded every reply by hand against its own rubric. For each one, I asked 3 questions. Did it state the facts the rubric required? Did it avoid the traps the rubric was testing for? And did it hand off to a human when that was the only right answer? Honestly, it took me a whole evening and my attention was gone long before the last ticket. Hand grading doesn't scale and it drifts. A tired grader on ticket 25 isn't the grader who started on ticket 1. Remember that feeling? Episode 4 replaces me with an automated harness that grades every change. But do it by hand yourself at least once. It forces you to write down what correct actually means, and that definition is your eval. Here is the baseline, every number measured, not scripted. Watch them land one at a time. First number, task success rate came in at 56%. Out of 25 tickets, that's how many V0 actually got right. Second number, unrecoverable errors sat at 0%. It never once crashed, and crashing was never the real problem. Median cost per task landed at 2.5 cents, real dollars pulled from real bills. And the last number, human interventions came out to 6 for every 10 tasks. That means more than half the time a person had to step in. Last episode I asked you to write down a guess, so go check it now. Most people miss in both directions, too generous about correctness, too gloomy about cost. Notice what 56% actually is and what it isn't. It's not zero. A one evening agent with one tool really does resolve real tickets. But it's nowhere near shippable yet, and closing that gap is exactly what the next 11 episodes are for. So let's recap. An agent at its core is just that loop. Gather context, act, verify, and repeat. V0 is that loop wearing one docs tool and a single sentence system prompt, nothing fancier. We ran it and it scored 56% on the golden set. That's 2.5 cents a task, with a person stepping in 6 times out of 10. Back to the question I opened with, is an agent that sounds this confident actually any good? Not yet, but now we know exactly how not good in real numbers instead of a guess. Its failures weren't crashes, they were confident answers built on context it never had. Next episode, real account tools designed with least privilege. Tool design alone moves this number, and we'll measure exactly how much. The episode 2 branch is in the repo, linked below. See you in episode 3.